Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana. This is ABC 57 News at 6.
ABC 57 News is working for you this morning. Right now, here's a quick look at what's topping Michiana headlines.
This is not a dumping ground. This is our neighborhood.
People living in this South Bend neighborhood say a local landlord is turning their backyards into a wasteland. How they plan to put an end to their very smelly situation. And new this morning, more students are headed off to class today. Straight ahead, how police are cracking down on dangerous driving in school zones. Good morning, Michiana. Welcome to ABC 57 News. I'm Jessie McDonough. We're expecting even warmer temps today. For a look at today's forecast, let's get right to ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Meteorologist Tom Coombs. Tom, it's really heating up today.
And the humidity on the rise as well. It's muggy this morning. Temperatures will make a run towards 90 this afternoon. Heading out the door right now. South Bend schools, Penn Harris Madison schools back in session today. It's 69 downtown South Bend, 65 Granger Edwardsburg area. So already a little muggy out there this morning. ABC 57 First Warning live off the radar. Everything looking clear as we start out your day. Going out for the wider view. No threat of rain today. By this time tomorrow morning, we could be tracking a few showers, if not a thunderstorm. Could be a little bit of fog out there. We've been tracking this if you're in the Knox area down to a half-mile visibility. So there is some patchy fog developing, mostly in just the very low-lying areas, and that is especially the Kankakee Valley between LaPorte and Stark County. We'll track temperatures today, the storms, and when temperatures go back down in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast. Jesse?
New this morning, today it's back to school for kids in South Bend, Michigan City, and Penn Harris Madison. School zone speeds in those areas are now in effect. As ABC 57 Eric Stelzer explains, there will be extra police on the streets this morning. He joins us live in South Bend at Jefferson Intermediate School with more. Good morning, Eric.
Hey Jesse, good morning. Well, teachers and faculty members just starting to get to Jefferson School here in South Bend. Now also officers are going to be all over the place this morning. A lot of them in places that you're not going to be able to see. So if you are going over the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit, chances are you're going to get a ticket. The speed zone enforcement effort is set to begin around 7:15 this morning, and they're going to be going to all the different schools in the area. Just a reminder for drivers that school is in session and to slow down. Now aside from that speed enforcement effort, police will also be patrolling inside the elementary schools in the area throughout the week and the school year. They say day shift officers will drop by schools several times a week just to make sure the kids and teachers are safe. Now, although the officers will be going inside of these buildings throughout the week and the school year, officers do assure us that there will be a minimum amount of interaction between the students and police officers here in South Bend. Reporting live in South Bend, Eric Stelzer, ABC 57 News.
And if your kids walk to school near Logan and Wilson, you may want to think twice before crossing the street. ABC 57 News found that drivers usually don't stop for pedestrians at that crosswalk. Now, surveillance video shows drivers don't pay attention to the flashing lights. Mishawaka police warn commuters in the area they should be very cautious.
They need to slow down and actually yield the right-of-way to that pedestrian so they can cross the street. It was put in there to help slow traffic down so our pedestrians can get across there safely, since since the intersection's really not a complete intersection like it used to be.
Now, when we first brought the problem to their attention back in November, police told us they would step up patrols and write tickets, but so far no tickets have been written. Right now, a 20-year-old gunman is locked up. He's accused of terrorizing an elementary school right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Just a week into the new school year, he allegedly threatened to kill everyone at the Ronald McNair Discovery Learning Academy. Officers say he slipped into the school and barricaded himself inside the front office while armed with an assault rifle. After exchanging gunfire with officers, police say a school clerk talked him into surrendering.
He had a look on him that he was willing to kill. Matter of fact, he said it. He said that he didn't have any reason to live and that he knew he was going to die today.
Now, the suspect gunman has been identified as Michael Hill right here on your screen. He was arrested earlier this year for alleged terrorist threats and acts and sentenced to probation and anger management. And stick with us as we continue to follow this developing story both on air and online at abc57.com. Within the half hour, we'll provide more exclusive interviews with all the major players in this story. Nearly 60,000 kids won't get to attend Head Start preschool this year, and it's mainly because of federal budget cuts. Now, that's according to a new report from the Administration for Children and Families. Head Start provides early education, daycare, and free meals for low-income families. Now, here's a breakdown of the numbers. More than 2,200 Michigan children were cut from the program, while Indiana lost more than 700 kids. California had the highest number, losing 5,600 kids. In Elkhart today marks the second day of testimony in a deadly home invasion trial. These three teens right here on your screen, Blake Lehman, Levi Sparks, and Anthony Sharp Jr. are all charged with murder, but they didn't even pull the trigger. Now, the homeowner shot a fourth robbery suspect, but a rarely used Indiana law allows the prosecutor to try the teens for murder. In just hours, a military judge is set to announce the sentencing for Bradley Manning. Now, Manning faces up to 90 years behind bars for the largest leak of classified information about the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Now, the judge reconvened the sentencing phase Tuesday morning. Manning's defense attorney previously argued he deserved additional consideration for the harsh conditions he suffered during part of his previous detention. Meanwhile, a former Mishawaka elementary school teacher accused of sending dirty texts to a 12-year-old girl has learned his fate. A judge sentenced 30-year-old Eric West, right here on your screen, to house detention and probation. Now, he also has to undergo a mental health exam. West pleaded guilty last month to inappropriate communication with a child. Now, that girl was in his 5th grade class at Walt Disney Elementary. A Mishawaka car dealer is in even more trouble this morning. Adam Scott was arrested over the weekend for carjacking. Now, get this, police say he tried to steal one of his own cars that he sold. Now, Scott is already under investigation. We've been doing stories about it for months for selling cars with rolled back odometers to unknowing customers. In South Bend, people living on Elmer Street are outraged. They say a local landlord is responsible for dumping trash in their backyards. ABC 57's Emily Evans spoke with neighbors and shows us what they're planning to do about this very smelly situation.
So far, they've exhausted about all of their options. They've called code enforcement, who says they're going to fine the rental company, Bradley WJM Properties. Residents called the rental company and were promised that the trash would be removed by sundown Monday. And they've even gone as far as calling the police, who say residents are going to have to pick up the trash themselves. Stinky, smelly, disgusting, even hazardous. These are just a few of the words residents on Elmer Street use to describe the trash that's piled in some of their backyards.
We sit out here just like today, nice breeze, and you catch a whiff of it coming every now and then. If you're just trying to do the yard, oh Lord, you don't want that. It's a really bad problem. You want a gas mask or something.
This is the house Bradley WJM Properties cleaned out earlier this week. But rather than forking over a few bucks to dispose of the trash in a city dumpster, the cleaning company they hired chose to dump it in a neighbor's backyard. As the weather heats up, neighbors fear the stench will only get worse.
This is not a dumping ground. This is our neighborhood, this is our home, this is where we grew up. Everybody knows each other, and we need to stop.
Residents I spoke with say if the problem doesn't get any better, they plan to take the issue to court. I did give the rental company a call to see what their plans were for the trash, but was unable to reach them after business hours. Reporting in South Bend, Emily Evans, ABC 57 News.
Developing this morning, we have new information about a massive warehouse fire in Fort Wayne. Fire officials say every firefighter was working at one point or another to respond to this fire. Now, smoke could actually be seen from more than 30 miles away. 2 firefighters suffered minor injuries. Fire crews say the biggest challenge was the water pressure. Here's a look at this new jaw-dropping video out of Michigan this morning. Now you can see a man speeding in his pickup truck with an attached trailer and riding lawnmower. All of a sudden, he goes airborne and launches over a guardrail into a creek. A woman captured this amazing footage on Vine. It's a mobile service that lets you capture and share short looping videos. Now that driver did suffer some serious injuries. A gunman faces charges of aggravated assault on a police officer, terroristic threats, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon after a school shooting in Georgia.
A gunman is behind bars as the investigation into yesterday's elementary school shooting continues. I'm Kristen Fisher. I'll have the latest coming up.
And here's a look at what you can expect on the roads as you head out to work or prepare to drop off those kids this morning. This is a live look along South Eddy Street in South Bend. As you can see, the traffic is pretty clear, but it is starting to pick up.
And you can expect warmer temperatures today. The warmest day of the week will make a run towards 90. Yesterday, we were in the mid to upper 80s. The latest in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast.